Welcome back to my channel, and in this video I'm going to be going through with you how to create more content that is magnetic, or to get your marketing message magnetic overall. Now, if you felt for a while that content's feeling a bit flat, or you're getting ghosted, you're not having as many interactions or engagement as you would like, then you need to clarify who you're speaking to, and you really need to get into the heads of your audience and understand what's going on. And we do this through getting into their DNA. We want to understand the DNA that's really within the audience you're serving, and by using a framework we can do this. Right now I've got a worksheet for you which you can get for free off this as well, which you can build through and get your own DNA framework from this. So I want to get into it, and hopefully you'll find it of use as we go through. Now, the first part that I want to get into is there's an unsaid truth from your audience, right? Now, this is the thing that your audience are thinking, but they just never say it. So your ideal clients will never post this on social media. This is the part where you need to understand that empathy is going to meet honesty a little bit here. And this is the part that most coaches skip, right? It's a really, really important part, but most coaches just go, nah, not talking about that, because, I don't know, there's a few barriers between it. Maybe it feels uncomfortable. Maybe it feels like they can't talk about it. But honestly, if you don't mention these things, or at least position it within your marketing, your potential clients just think that you don't understand them. They think that there's this big disconnect, that they're over here thinking about this thing, and you're talking about stuff over here that's really sort of broad and generic. And actually, we really want to understand the unsaid stuff. So what they really think, but they don't say it. There's a few things that you can ask yourself here, so we can really get into what are they secretly ashamed of behind the scenes? What do they fear people would judge them for, potentially? What do they wish someone else would just say out loud so that they could say it too, right? That's your job as a coach and content creator, right? Is to create the stuff that makes them feel aligned to you. That's how we do this, right? So there's a few things we can use, which is in the document, but if you think about something that they'd never admit, that they'd feel like a fraud coaching clients, when they're struggling themselves. For example, that works in the fitness space, because there are a lot of coaches who might have their own things that they're working through. And if they talk about it openly, they're worried that people will think, oh, they shouldn't be doing this because they've got, but these people are people as well, right? Everyone's got their own things that they're dealing with and working with. So that's the thing I'm trying to get at here. It's not about creating drama for the sake of it, but it's about understanding that these are the real things that are going on, and if you just ignore them, or don't, or worse, you're aware of them but you don't mention them, then you're doing a disconnect to the audience that you serve. So the second part of this is that we need to understand your point of view. That's really important in this, and I've talked about this a lot over the years. I've also got different workbooks on this, and this is going to be just a part of that, right? So we're going to get into what this means. So, for example, I want to be able to, just on here, if you indulge my drawing a little bit more, we're going to have a heart there, and then within here we've got megaphone. So we go. And you need to be the one who is going to start to, oh God, you need to say what others won't. Okay? That's the key, right? What do you believe that not everyone else agrees with? So start to think about how can you talk more from here, right? Stop sounding like every other coach out there. You just go through a scroll on your feed and you'll see all the stuff that blends in. Try and not be like that, right? The stuff that really wants to create magnetism between you and your audience is the stuff that actually repels the people who aren't a good fit and attracts the people who are. So there's a few things again within the document below that we can ask on this, but you might start to think about things in terms of, oh, I can't stand it when people say that weight loss is just about counting calories, and simplifying it down, or that might be quite a contrarian approach, because technically, it's calories in, calories out, as you all know, hopefully. But simplifying it down to that, it just dismisses a lot of other stuff. Or I wish everyone understood that motivation follows momentum, not the other way around. And then you might do that as a bit of a contrarian take, because actually people will talk about you don't need motivation, you just need to take action on things. Is that the truth? I don't know. I think there's a case for motivation, because when people are motivated, they're more inclined to actually start the thing that they want to do. So there is a call for this stuff, just thinking about how it ties in with your audience as well. So one thing that I want you to really think about on this is for you to be able to do the tattoo test. Now, what is the tattoo test? Well, the tattoo test is if you could tattoo one belief, right, across all of your content, what would it say? What's the one thing, right? That's ultimately the red thread or the spine that leads through your brand. It can kind of move a little bit, it can kind of flex, but ultimately your point of view is the thing that binds everything together. It's the glue on it. So getting really clear on this is the stuff that will make you stand out a mile, because no one else is doing this. They're just doing the same generic templates. And even with the onset of AI now, which I'm a big fan of, AI for various reasons. What I'm not a fan of it for is it's been able to raise the floor in terms of people who are able to create content, right? Because there's people before who just wouldn't do it. Now AI has made it easier, so it's just raised it up. It's also brought the ceiling down of those who were creating quite good content before, and now they're outsourcing it to AI, and it's taken away all of the point of view, all of the personality in it, and it's bringing it down. So we've got this level playing field again, and it's just a playing field of slop, AI slop. So don't be that person. Try and work on how you convey your point of view, because that's the thing that's going to cut through all of the noise that we have out there at the moment around AI, things like that. Okay, so and the next thing, I want you to start to think about the high stakes problems that come up for your audience. So, for example, let's say, for example, we've got this is a bomb here, and then we've got a calendar of stuff here, and the time is running out, right? So, what happens if your clients do nothing? What's going to happen to this bomb? It's starting to frazzle now. It's starting to go off. If they do nothing, this is the part that you need to understand. So there's going to be different triggers for your audience, and they're going to happen at certain points. And you're not going to have much control over that. But what normally happens is people aren't just sat there scrolling through their phones or getting emails and going, "Oh yeah, I need to do this." What's happened is something will go on in their life, a trigger will happen, and that's the thing that's made them go, "I need to do this now. It's time to do this." So when you think about the triggers that happen for your audience, they're the important things to really understand, because that's where your potential client wants help. And if they don't get help, then it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get just progressively bigger over time. So the things that they need to understand is there's a progressive problem for them to not do stuff. So if they don't take action now, there's also an opportunity cost if they don't do it. So there's a cost to that, like they miss out on something that's going on at the moment. There's also a relationship impact, because there's tension with work, partners, friends, and there's also an identity stake as well, because they stop recognizing themselves. So identity is really important here. And if they don't fix this thing now, for example, they're just going to keep wasting years jumping between fad diet, whatever it is, and then their son or daughter will inherit the same patterns. There's all these kind of things that start going on. You need to understand what is the real high stakes problem. How do you solve it, or how do you talk about that within your content and get it across to the people you work with? Because that's going to be the thing that's going to cut through as well. We are humans at the end of the day, and this stuff is happening every single day to all of us. And if you're the one just going, you just need to increase your protein a little bit, or thought about drinking some water today, it's quite hot. It's not really the stuff that people are going to be going, hey, I really want to work with you. So some other parts on this I really want to get across is your audience, they're going to use specific language. So they're going to have a way of describing things, and you need to use their words. Okay, so when we start to think about this, we've got let's call them three areas here. Let's do this, and then this one in the middle. So we've got their feelings, so how they feel about things. We've got their descriptions, the way they describe stuff. And we've also got their aspirations, right? So the things they want to achieve. Oh, my writing's terrible. There we go. So, like I said before, we want to use their actual words in this. So if we start to break it down into these three types, we've got the emotional side of stuff, which is like, I'm fed up of trying so much. I feel like I'm stuck. Don't know what to do. All the descriptive stuff is like, I've always been the bigger one out of the group. I just keep trying to do stuff and never get anywhere, for example. And the aspirational stuff is like, I just want to feel like myself in my own skin again. I want to feel like I can get out of bed and have the energy, something like that. Or I just want my knees to work. In my case, it might be. So the thing is, like, this stuff comes from the conversations that you have with the people in your world. So it will come from consultation calls. It will come from content. It will come from people messaging you on social media, replying to things, testimonials. It will come from the forms, the onboarding forms. It will come from check-in processes. Like, all of these things are in your space already, right? And it's your job to be able to pull that data and use it within the content, because this stuff's really powerful, right? This stuff, again, that is already in your world. Your content should come from the people in your world. You shouldn't be like trying to figure it out from elsewhere or get a content calendar plan, right? The content should come from your people already in your world. If you're working with clients, you have content there. You just need to put it from them. This is a system that we set up for ourselves, and we're setting up with other coaches at the moment, is being able to use calls, the transcript from calls, put it through a system, pull all these content themes out of it, pull these parts out of it, the actual language they use, put that into a document, so we can then have just an endless supply of content ideas and themes and tools and language that we can just access from the people who are already in our space. That's it. That's what we need to be doing, not making it harder for ourselves, right? So with this said, you want to put this all together, right? So when you put this all together, you have everything. You've got the unsaid truth, the things that your potential base aren't really saying or they're scared to say. You've got your own point of view, which is really important on this. The real stakes problems, the things that are really, really the triggers that come up. And then also their actual words that they use and the language that comes up by your potential clients. That's the stuff that, if you put that all together, is the stuff that starts to get you the connection, the conversations, the engagement that you want, right? That's the important part. But the thing is, like, no one really does this work because it's work, right? It's more things that you've got to do. But I guarantee if you just spend half an hour doing this stuff, and if you get the worksheet below and you just work through that and start applying it, I know that it will have an impact. I see it happen every single week with coaches. So please use it. I'd love to know your thoughts on this. If you found this useful, let me know below. Please like it and subscribe to the channel. I'm planning to do more like this, more practical stuff that you can actually do straight away. You can pull this now, get to work, right? That's what I want to do with it. So let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next one.